But the justification for the death of innocents cannot be an infinite cycle of bloodlust. It cannot be killing tens of thousands of innocent civilians with a war with no end in sight, people who are not complicit in those atrocities. It cannot be bombing hospitals which children use. It cannot be bombing hospitals in which cancer patients are dying and starving in there.
Sammy MacDonald from St. John's College deserves the utmost respect for his courage shown during the Cambridge Union debates when he confronts Charlie on his views on Israel and Palestine. He was the final debater and he literally put Charlie in his place. Charlie inevitably resulted in personally attacking Sammy, but this didn't deter the young man in any way. Let's take a look.
Let me ask you, in the conflict of Israel versus Hamas, who's the good guy?
I believe both Hamas and the Israeli government are evil. But I think also that there is no justification.
Are they equally?
There is no justification for the murder and mutilation of thousands of innocent people and children.
Let's
the futile.
Let's zero in on.
There is no justification, Mr. Kirk, for invading hospitals, for bombing innocent populations and dragging out a war which is damaging Israel and the West's security.
You've made that point, but
well, it's not a point, it's a moral truth, isn't it?
Okay, yeah.
But the justification for the death of innocents cannot be an infinite cycle of bloodlust. It cannot be killing tens of thousands of innocent civilians with a war with no end in sight, people who are not complicit in those atrocities. It cannot be bombing hospitals which children use. It cannot be bombing hospitals in which cancer patients are dying and starving in there. The deaths that have been inflicted, nobody knows the true toll, but somewhere between 50 and 100,000 people lie dead under the rubble. And what is left for Gaza except for to continue to suffer under Hamas? Because it turns out Netanyahu's political strategy has not worked. It has entrenched Hamas within the territories. To be a Christian, I would have thought, Mr. Kirk, would never have involved suggesting that the price for an atrocity must be an infinite cycle of bloodlust, that innocent people and the young population must be killed to avenge some kind of providential crisis. How can you call yourself a Christian? Well, you just did.
I want to make sure we get our moral clarity straight before we proceed. No one likes what's happening in Gaza. No one with a heart or a soul or a mind likes when kids die. But you must understand who started the conflict so that you could end it correctly. And until Hamas brokers an unconditional surrender, of which they are unwilling to do, they could release the hostages and drop their weapons and their lives would be spared. Instead, they are using children of Gaza as cannon fodder, financed by the Iranian mullahs and dragging the entire world into this conflict. So I don't even know what we're debating at this point other than I believe that Israel, I believe the facts, Israel was unconditionally attacked on October 7th. They're responding in kind. And I would just ask you a very simple moral question.
As Sammy said, there is no justification for the killing of innocent men, women and children. We cannot forget that at this very moment, innocent civilians are losing their lives in the most destructive ways imaginable. As Charlie talks gibberish about who's the bad guy and who's the good guy, Sammy talks absolute sense. Clearly somebody who understands the suffering that's going on, unlike Charlie. When has it ever been acceptable for a country or state to intentionally destroy schools and hospitals, as Sammy states, who are not complicit in those atrocities? At this very moment in time, over 600,000 students are no longer in the education system because there is none. There's not a single fully operational hospital left in Gaza. Doctors are performing amputations and operations without anesthetics. This is the reality. People like Charlie state Hamas hide behind children. This is plain stupid. Even if they did, it does not give anyone the right to harm any child.
How should Israel have responded?
Not with the blanket carpet bombing of a city, not with bombing hospitals. Of course, some kind of military operation might have been necessary, but not murder on this scale. There is no justification for what is happening with the enormous death toll that is being produced. I really cannot see how you come here and you have the gall to lecture us on Christian morality and then sit here and justify the murder of thousands of civilians. And is it working, Mr. Kirk? Is Hamas dismantled?
I've never said that.
You just did.
Well, no,
this is your whole
in
thing.
War, these are called casualties of a war.
We're going to need to stop bringing this
again. I'm not going to justify every military maneuver of a 100,000 person army. Instead, what I will do is I'll be clear that there is a good guy and there is a bad guy. I honestly.
Isn't that the morality of a child?
Well, hold on. It's interesting you say that, because a child who knows that Israel is the good guy, Hamas is bad, has a lot more wisdom than a student like yourself at Cambridge University.
I will be glad that I will not have been somebody who has defended the genocide of the Palestinian people. And I think you will have to reckon one day that you have reckoned with.
Interesting. I want to close on this. So can you tell me what African country is currently ongoing a civil war?
Believe it or not, I know about Sudan.
Okay, good.
I'm an idiot.
How about what Southeast Asian country has an ethnic cleansing going on right now?
Myanmar.
Good. And you have strong opinions on both sides?
Unlike you, I take an effort to be informed about foreign policy and to come to conclusions. You are a culture warrior. I believe when everything is done, Mr. Kirk, people will see you and the people you supported as corrupt, as selling the country out to the lowest bidder, and of doing irreparable damage to a country I'm sure we all deep down love.
The difference,
I think you will have to reckon with that.
Difference
Mr. Kirk.
is when...
First off, this is no war. There's no Palestinian tanks, helicopters, fighter jets, Iron Dome, warships of any kind. The Palestinians have no way of defending themselves. Charlie then, like a coward, states, I want to end on this, trying to get the last word in, but Sammy is right. An absolute champ. I quote, I will be glad that I will not have been somebody who has defended the genocide of the Palestinian people. He then goes on to absolutely obliterate Charlie. Well done, Sammy. Hats off to you, bro. 10 years, 20 years, 50 years from now, we will all look back at this. This will never be forgotten, nor will it ever be forgiven. Do you want to look back with regret? Or do you want to look back and say, you know what, I couldn't stop the war, but at least I tried my best to do something about it. Anyway guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. Support me by liking and subscribing. I'll see you in my next video. Peace out.